And good evening. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. As we're weather alert at this point, you'll have to excuse my little friend. She will not leave. She is glued, so she'll be with us during this next little weather event. What we have now, we have no warnings, but we do have a lot of thunderstorms that are occurring northwest of the Meridian area as they move through Scott County into Newton County, and a lot of things happening in Neshoba County. We are also picking up a lot of winds right now in Kemper County. Let's go to radar, and we're going to do an overview of what we've got so far and what to expect and timelines and all of that. So let's get to the weather, and let's pull up radar as we go to Doc's Toyota radar. Now let's go to our biggest concern that we have right now. We got some shear winds that are occurring in Kemper County right now, and these are coming across. This is a 1 mile width of shear winds of about 58 miles an hour. Let's turn on some locations and let you see where this is. This is going to be out in the Bennsville area is kind of where this is, this first one where we're getting this. This is going to be Highway 16. And let's go out and get a little bit closer here what we got. This is actually on Millington Road there near where the split is, Millington, and then where this comes into where Bennsville Road is, right there in the curve. Ben Dudley lives in that area right there. So that's going to be shear winds in that area. Watch that. It usually breaks limbs, causes power outages normally when we have that. We've got another cell here in Kemper County that has some shear winds too. This is going to be to the northwest of Scuba as we look at this. And it's got 68 to 69 mile an hour shear winds with it. And again, a 1 mile width of this. This is Highway 16. This is due north of this. This is Highway 39. Let's look at this as we zoom in and get a closer road. Here's the Felton Cemetery. This is going to be Spring Hill Road and Joe Pearson's Road here. And there's that Felton Cemetery. This is out in some pine trees in that area as you look at that. 39 here. Here's Wahalik here. It's kind of in between there as we look at that. Now, if you will look at this box that we've got here. Let me turn off radar where you can see this box. This box that's cutting across here. This is a area that a special weather statement that's been given to us by the National Weather Service, and let's pull that up and read what they have to tell us about this so you'll be aware of it. Strong thunderstorms are impacting northern Jasper, Newton, northeastern Smith, Kemper, northern Clark County, southeastern Scott and Neshoba counties through about 6:30 p.m. A few moments ago, about 15 minutes ago, Doppler radar picked up a strong thunderstorm with a line extending from Nanawaya to Lake. Movement was southeast at 40 miles an hour. 50 mile an hour gust and penny-sized hail is with this. And if you'll look at what we put up a minute ago, we got some hail there in the Dixon community, and that's going to be down there around the Neshoba County Fairgrounds. We would have limbs cracking with this, as I mentioned, which could cause power outages. This will be near Newton, Decatur, and those areas there as it moves through there. 545 in the Collinsville area. That's about right now, and getting to DeKalb within the next 3 to 4 minutes, and NAS Meridian around 605. Let's look at actually what radar. Sometimes that runs a little bit different than what we're looking at. All right, here at House, Mississippi, and let's turn this off a second. As you'll see, we got a storm that's cutting across that's entering Lauderdale County. Now, the storm has moved through downtown Philadelphia and is on the east side of this, east and south, and moving into Kemper County as we look at this. The west side of Newton County up to Decatur, back over from 15 west into Scott County heavy. This storm right here will be reaching the Martin area within 25 minutes and reach Collinsville within 30 minutes. With that, we see that, and this is very low. This storm is not producing, or I haven't seen anything that spawned off tornadoes. What we're getting out of this has been merely, up until this point, thunderstorms, and I don't see anything that's going to throw something else at this point unless it changes in the next few moments. So we're dealing with a lot of wind, which can cause power outages with these limbs, and a lot of heavy rain and lightning. Now, as we look at this, these purple, you see these little purple Shazam things, lightning bolts? The purple ones are in the air. They're not touching the ground. These gold ones are the ones that are actually striking the ground and hitting trees or something. And as we go in here, right here to Union, this is going to be out on Highway 494. They're at Little Rock Decatur Road, just to the east right there of Deweese Road, where Hebron Church, we've had a lightning strike touch there on the ground. That was at 5:53. That was 60 seconds ago. We had a lightning bolt strike the ground there. Now, as we back out again, that's that storm that's coming out of Neshoba County into Lauderdale County. And again, we'll move through Martin and Bailey and eventually in 30 minutes make its way across the reservoir as you see that. Now, let's go to the west side of Newton as this is entering here. This is traveling straight down I-20. A severe thunderstorm. It will be at Lawrence in 14 minutes, Cedar Grove in 23, and then make it to downtown Newton within about 28 minutes. Now, as you'll hear my phone dinging in the background, it's letting me know that lightning is nearing. It just told me that there's lightning within 5 miles of my studio coming out of it. It's in the air. It hadn't struck. It's just letting us know that. Now, let's pull out and take a closer look at this, at the big picture, see how this is moving to the northeast across the entire region here. Now, let's look at this. I want to update this. I don't want to make you look at that. Of where we are on power outages. We've already got some across the state of Mississippi and a good bit to our west, and it shows you where the storm has been. So let's look at this as we pull this up. Here's what we have. In Neshoba County, we've got about 237 without power now. As you move into Leake, a little under 600 in Scott County. That's a big one there, about 2,323 people without power. Rankin, 4,600 without power. As we get into Hinds County, 6,400. So it's taken a lick here. This has had some strong heavy winds and with this. Now again, as I've said before, it looks as though this is weakened as we look at this. Now let's go in here and take a look. Let me refresh this. This is going to be Central Electric is what we're looking at. Right in here as we go into Newton County, we got about 1,000, almost 1,050 people here in this northeast corner around Little Rock, Beulah, Purdue. You're without power. As we get into Neshoba County, there in the community of Neshoba, and out in Barfoot and around Dover, we got about 56 people there without power. Over near the Hope community, just south of Pearl River, we're looking at about 64. As we get into Carthage, into Leake County, it's a lot without power there. As you'll see there, just scattered. Walnut Grove has them, even up here in the east Remus area there, Marydale. You've got some Wiggins. Over in this corner here, we've got power outages there. But a big one right there as we look at that and back out. As we look, and let's refresh this, we had about 12 people in Kemper County as I looked at this earlier. That may be, let's look here, there's a few right there. It's not very many. We're looking at this down from 12 to 2, so that's good. They've been working to get that restored with the MEPA here in the last few moments, and everything looks good there. As we go to Mississippi Power, let's see what has gone on with that in the last few moments. Everything is good there. Nothing bad showing up. So promising. Let's go back in and look at radar so you'll know where you are in relation to all this. Now again, it is very much raining hard at this point. It could be a lot worse, and that it just hasn't prompted a severe thunderstorm warning, and it has not thrown a tornado warning at all. We are under a tornado watch until 9 p.m. tonight, as you'll look at this right there. All of this pink area. And let's back out and turn off radar where you can see. All of this area here in the pink is a severe thunderstorm watch through 9 p.m. tonight. Let's see what they've got right here. We've had hail reported, dime-sized hail there in Neshoba County on Deemer Road is where that's being reported. And as we showed the hail that we were getting there a little bit earlier in the Dixon community down in here, we've gotten it there also. As you'll look at this Jackson area, that's a flash flood warning. They've had so much rain come through that area, and it, again, as I mentioned, it was serious a while ago. Let's pull this up now and see what we've got with hail still coming down at this point. All of this pink that you're seeing here is hail inside these storms that's come across. Neshoba County has had a lot. You see that? Now let's go back over here and make it a little bit easier so it's not confusing. See that pink right there? All of that is where we've had, in the Morton area, boy, it had a bunch come through there. Hail poured through that area, and we've had a lot there in Neshoba County. A little bit here at the Kemper County line, not as bad as it was right here. Look at that. That's what came through the Deemer area, all through there, Dixon, right through there. That's that storm. So we've had some pretty significant hail. As a matter of fact, let's go back here. We'll take a look at what I've got here on the page so you can see this in person. As we pull this down, and of course, cattle, they're getting ready for the storms. It's off in the distance. They're waiting on that to arrive. As we come down, here's that hail. And again, that was the Dixon community that was sent in a few moments ago. That's pretty good size there. And again, if you've had a new vehicle, you certainly don't want any of that on yours, do you? I didn't think so. Let's go back to radar. Now again, we are not dealing with any warnings at this point. That is the good news of everything that we're dealing with right now. It is just a lot of heavy rain. We got winds, and as you'll see, this is not near as bad as this could have been. Look at that. Newton has got a pretty good storm right there. As we move up here, this is one we're watching, and Kemper County has a strong one. Those winds have died down, those sheer winds that we had earlier in Kemper there. Now, as we turn this across, this will be at Bloomfield within 15 minutes. Let's zoom in and look at this. This gray area here is 30 minutes from right here. This is going to be highway, this is 493 right here. I want to make sure I was right. 493, that's Joe Williams Airfield. This is sitting up, if you'll remember, this is about where that tornado, 6 months to 8 months ago, hit right in here. This is going to be moving due east across here and crossing 397 and making it to right here, downtown DeKalb, in about 30 minutes. Again, it's just a thunderstorm. There are no warnings issued with this at this point. We got a special weather statement saying extreme amounts of rain and wind, but that's it right now. We're in the driver's seat on this, and this could be looking a whole lot worse. I'm seeing to where these colors on the radar are starting to show some break of the strong storm with this. Now, it's still going to rain, don't get me wrong, but we won't have that thunderstorm activity with the 60-mile-an-hour winds. It's starting to break up a little bit on that. Now, here's a good little storm that has moved into Lauderdale County at this point. This is Highway 493. Here's Oak Tibby as we pull up some locations there. This is going to put it right. Here's West Lauderdale High Elementary. There's Chet's there in the curve, and it's just over on 493. You go right past Hughes Telephone Company and right there at Arkadelphia Baptist Church. In between those two areas, raining pretty hard. If you're in that area, you know what I mean. You see this. We got another storm system here that will make it to Martin in about 26 minutes, that is moving out of Newton County, moving to the northeast there. Will affect those. We've had a lot of lightning there around House, starting to see that break up. Actually heavier now in Kemper County than it is in Neshoba County, if you'll look at that. Here's Highway 495 running into 16. That's the Cleveland community. This is just due north after you go past the old power plant there before you reach 16. You're going to get into a lot of rain. Why did I say room? A lot of rain there. As we get up near the gullies, y'all are going to be having some heavy rains there on Cow Creek Road as well. Starting to see some showers there moving up by Old McDade's store here in Scuba, there at the intersection there. Across the campus, we got some light showers, but just north of there, Presley Bottom, in between there and Wahalak, you're going to get into some heavier showers there, and even out to Bennsville. United Methodist Church right there, White Horse Mountain, those areas has a lot. As we get into Sugarlock, if you're watching us from there, up around the hospitals and Kentucky Fried Chicken there in downtown Macon, you'll get a little break in between there and Sugarlock. And again, after you go through Sugarlock, headed south into Kemper, the rain will intensify there. Highway 21 still dangerous if you're traveling that today. As we look at Kemper County in this Preston area, raining pretty hard up there by the Dollar General that moves east of there, Linville Methodist Church. And as we get up here by the Cyples Mills, it's pretty strong there. Kemper Lake, we got a lot of rain there. Raining hard there at Damascus as we look at this and all the way across. That's a pretty good little storm there. And again, right here is Talbert Enterprises, just to the southeast of there, which you'll see. Here's Highway 491. It's pretty heavy right there. And this is going to be on County Road 298, there where it joins 491. So if you're living in Neshoba County, I want you to be aware of that heavy rain there. This is 19 after you cross out of Lauderdale County. Now, it's going to get heavy there. That little bit of half a mile run there of Newton County, and when you get into Neshoba County all the way to Tucker, you're going to be into some heavy rain. It's breaking over the city of Philadelphia. Now, if you look out to your west there, we got some heavy showers at Carthage, but it's not thunderstorm activity, just heavy rain. And it's going to take a while. This rain is not going to move out. We are looking at maybe 8:30, the worst of it passing. Clark County will still have some hit-and-miss showers there, and we do have it in the forecast through the evening, but not the strong thunderstorm activities that we're looking. If you're watching us from the east, a special weather statement has been issued here for the Tuscaloosa area. At 5:48, Doppler radar was tracking strong thunderstorms along extending from Brooksville to ML, Alabama. Now, the movement was southeast at 25 miles an hour. The gust of this is up to 50 miles an hour, pea-sized hail moving toward the Tuscaloosa area. And again, this is what's coming out of Kemper County that's made it over into the edge of Alabama there around ML. That's making its way. That storm right there. There's Gordo, Reform, as you'll do all of that. Kim Waste sits right there. That's Highway 17 there at Kim Waste. All right, we got a storm, and this is going to be just due north of New Hope Volunteer Fire Department there. And this is going to cut across Kemper Lake up towards Cyples Mills. And it'll be at Cyples Mills within 18 minutes, reaching the Golson area in about 27 minutes. So keep in mind, if you're there in this western side of Kemper County right now, it's pouring rain there. The Chicken Shack, that area there, the Cowboy Church, not bad at all. Even Baca Valley has very, very light rain. Out at the Neville Mansion, not much going on there at this point. Due north of 16 out toward Bentonville, it'll get heavier in that area there. The worst of the worst, though, right there on Highway 16, moving toward Kemper Lake. If you're in that area, you're going to have some windows rattling here and just a little bit from these thunderstorms cutting across from there. Now, let's look at what's going on over here in Newton County. As we follow this along I-20, here's Lawrence sitting here. As you get to Lazy Boy, it lightens up a little bit. It's still heavy even as you get to the Veteran Cemetery. You'll get past the Red Goat. By the time you get right in here to the Chunky area, it's okay right now. In the Lauderdale County, not rain, it will happen as we watch this come slowly across I-20. All right, let's back out here and let me turn these off so we can just see what we got. Nowhere else in the state right now do we have any watches, or do we have outside of a thunderstorm watch box through 9 p.m. We got a special weather statement for Lauderdale, Clark, Newton, and Kemper counties, and Neshoba County at this point, but no warnings. So things are looking up for us, so to speak, there. Thunderstorm there indicator lights are flickering. Thank you, Patricia. We do appreciate that. Robert, Utah, Alabama. I may have not said something right there of where you were at. Here's Livingston here. Here's Utah here. And I don't remember what I was saying about Utah at that point, but that's due east of here. We were talking about Tuscaloosa there. But here's Utah. No storms around Utah at this point. It's all due north of there. As we look at that Tuscaloosa area, this is that front edge of that storm, Gordo and Reform, moving to the east there through Tuscaloosa, and it will eventually make its way toward Birmingham. So if I messed something up there, I apologize on that. Let's see here. Heavy rain in the cab sounded like hell for just a moment there. Appreciate that. As we look back up here. Jessica, power out in the Little Rock area there on Highway 494. Wind blowing hard, Barbara says. That's in the Cicalina area there on Highway 494. And we do have that. Now let's look at, now that you bring up that wind, let's go over here to our severe and pull up damaging wind path. The darker green, you see that? How that changed? Let me turn that off so you can see that again. We're going to blink that off. And then you turn this on. This is how that heavy wind is damaging winds cutting across there to the northeast. Right up there toward, right through there. Through Gordo and Reform. I haven't quite made it to Gordo yet, but it will. It's been a windy afternoon as we look at that wind there. All right, let's see here. What do we have here? Several little storms popping up. We got a storm that will make it decline within 9 minutes We have another one here in Newton County that's going to be at Duffy within about 27 minutes. And as you'll see, that's going to cross that county line right into Lauderdale, right due north of Collinsville. This will make its way up there past the four-way Newton County Martin Road area. Is where that is headed, straight out of Hickory, as we look to those storms. Now we've got one right here at Lauderdale County crossing over into Kemper County, and will reach the Liberty area in about 24 minutes. Let's turn on those locations so you can see that. And if you'll watch that, as it's right there on the Lauderdale-Kemper line, that is headed northeasterly directly toward the power plant. Right there, and then that'll cut on across below Scuba in that direction eventually. But we are showing some breaks there, as it's not as bad as it was. As we look back here in the southwest corner, here's Newton, Mississippi, and if you'll look, here's right there, there's Lawrence. And if you go south of Lawrence, we got a lot of heavy rain there following there on Highway 505. If you live in that area, heavy rain all the way down to Jasper County. And this, of course, Montrose hasn't gotten really wet at this point. We got some light showers, but you will from this stuff that's moving in from Raleigh coming across. McGee getting some thunderstorm activity. No warnings at this point. Hail is approaching Kemper Academy if you're living there. Live in that area, downtown DeKalb. I just got a text. The radar says it's doing that. All right, let's move down. Janice asked about Lauderdale County. Right now, we only have the northwest corner of Lauderdale County getting rain. We will get more if you'll look at this. Here it is just to the west of you coming through Newton County, and it will make its way into Lauderdale County here in the next little bit. Let's go back to radar here on this side here, and let's put this into play where you can kind of see how the storm is moving. See how that's moving to, all right, we just lost power. We're on generator backup. Or supposed to be. All right, we'll hold on for a little while there, and for some reason that didn't fire off. All right, as we continue to watch this, again, we're on battery backup at this point with all of this at this point. We'll get some more electricity going here in just a little bit. And again, power outages are starting to happen throughout the area. Let's update and see if this has already picked this up or not. That's so fast it has not gotten it. Yeah, here we go. We got about 39 customers here in the Center Hill area that are without power now. As we see there, power at West Lauderdale, High Winds, and Martin. All right, let me checking a few things. All right, power outages we do have, and again, that's from the wind that is coming across there, and we'll make this current as we look at this, and we do have this storm that is coming across here, right there. Chamberville, this storm will be there in about 9 minutes. We'll reach this storm getting into Collinsville out of Newton County in about 14 minutes. We see Center Hill, 27 minutes, and the Shucktown area will have the storm in about 28 minutes. All right, Ellie is watching everything for me. She's all over this as we cover weather tonight here. And again, we've got a lot of power outages throughout the area. Lauderdale County getting its first as about 40 at this point. We'll probably see more as this comes about. All right, let's go out and pouring and lots of wind and lightning at Lake Ross Collins. We do see that. The Louisville area. Hey there. And right now, let's look at Louisville. I hadn't talked to Stephanie a lot about Louisville. Moderate. We got heavy rain, but there's no thunderstorm activity. It's just pouring rain. That's good news for y'all. It's coming across. Not something you want to be driving in, but lots better than it could be there. The Cab, we're getting lots and lots of rain at this point. If you'll see that. All right. As we turn our locations back on here and we follow all of this, starting to pick up some in Collinsville there, meaning the rain there. The Cab all the way south down 39. Now, as you get right here, this is going to be the Samdale Monument. After you get there to about where the church is, right there, Blackwater, after you go right there where the power substation is, all the way into the Cab, you're going to be into a lot of rain. All right, we got another storm that's trying to make its way into Lauderdale County back from Newton County. This will be at Chamberville in 9 minutes, Collinsville in 14, Center Hill in 27. We got a second leg here that's out by the Red Goat that's kind of following the county line as it cuts up. Let me close this one. With Center Ridge, Good Hope, Hubbard. This will be at Duffy in about 20 minutes and make it to Purdue within 21 minutes is what we're showing there. Almost had a second storm there that tried to pop up here. That's right there at the Lauderdale County line. This is going to cross Highway 494. Here's the Piggly Wiggly, that area there, Lake Ross Collins, and it will cut just past that and cut across there at 19 and where Wildcat Road is, that storm, as it moves northeasterly across the county. Right through there. Now, again, as we look at the big picture of this, it is breaking up somewhat. It's still heavy rain in Kemper County, and we got it in the western side of Lauderdale, moving out of Newton. Now, this Bay Springs area, as we get back here into Raleigh, McGee, this is a separate storm here. There's no warnings with it, but it's a lot of rain coming down as we look at Smith County into those. We'll keep a close eye on that and see what that does over the next little bit as it develops. All right, Kemper County there. We got a little storm there that is going to be reaching Socconachi within about 19 minutes and then on into Porterville in about 21 minutes. And again, this is going to be right up here by the Woodyard as it cuts across there. This is south of where the old rest area used to be before you make it to Electric Mills, just south of there at the Woodyard. And then as you get into Porterville, it'll be there in a few moments also. So use caution in those areas there. Not anything really going on at the moment as we get into Clark County. It's all kind of clear at this point as we look at that. The Bay Springs area out to our west there, Raleigh, getting wet. Newton, downtown Newton, not so bad there. Highway 15 after you go south of town, it's got some more rain. Hickory just to the east of you in between on 80 and Chunky in between there. Between Hickory and Chunky on Highway 80, we got a lot of rain occurring there. As we go north of the interstate, let's turn this back on here. Here's the Red Goat as you go northeast of there and across the interstate. Rose Mobile Homes here. And as you follow, this is going to be right along here. Read what that says. It's going to be Hickory Little Rock Road. My tongue's getting twisted, isn't it? And that will be making it to the Good Hope area in about 13 minutes from now. Hubbard and Duffy within 20 minutes. If you live in that area, expect a thunderstorm to be reaching you as well. I-20 now, if you're in Meridian and needing to go back over to Jackson, you might want to wait a few minutes and let that happen as we look at that. All right, we're picking up some more shear winds here in Kemper County. Let's go take a look at this. This is going to be right off Highway 493 and between 493 and Highway 39. This is packing some winds with it. And let's turn that off. All right, we're running roughly about 58 mile an hour shear winds, and usually when we pick this up, now this is most likely what came through this area right here and moved up through there that knocked out the power here for a few minutes for those for the folks there in the West Lauderdale area. And again, that's about 58 mile an hour shear winds. This is not tornadic, but it does have a lot of wind, and what it does is breaks limbs. It's high and it breaks limbs. and causes power outages with this. Now, I treat these a little bit differently when we're under tornado warnings. They're a little bit more susceptible for bad weather at that point. But right now, we're dealing with some shear winds there that's in the air that can do some damage to tree limbs and cut out that power. Now, let's go back while we're talking about all this. Now, again, let me look at a road here to get this a little bit more defined for you. So, you know, this is Highway 493 in Kemper County, and this is going to be Blackwater 493 road that this storm is sitting on, this high winds here. And again, as you can see, making its way northeasterly, right there is Blackwater. It's due west of Blackwater. Right there is where that is. As we're having this, that, and the other. And you're right, Tony, no power there. I had something else drop out over there. Something's going on with my generator. It did not kick on in this building, so I got somebody looking into that, finding out why it didn't fire up. All right. As we look here, we got a little. Here is Freeman Tractor. We got a storm that's coming across there. It's going to cut right across the bottom end, the south end of the lake. All right. We just got a wreck that was sent in, and we'll get this posted here as quickly as I can. Let me see what we've got. This is a rollover accident on in Neshoba County on Highway 505, just before Road 442. Injuries. Neshoba County Sheriff's Office is there. EMS. One person is being transported to a local hospital. Now let's get some pictures up here, and we will get that. All right. Technical difficulties, so to speak. Let me get it back there. There we go. A technical difficulty. We've lost one camera for whatever reason. We'll work that out. We still got one camera that I can switch to here in just a second. Let me get this loaded, and we'll show you what that is. Take me just a second. I hadn't gone anywhere. And again, I apologize with one in the studio at this moment. You kind of have to be multi-talented and touch several different things at once, so I have to pause for a second there. Now let's go back to the page here and let me refresh this and show you the accident that we've just had brought in from Neshoba County here. As you'll see here, we've got an accident there. That looks to be a Tahoe that's rolled over. Again, we do have one person that's going to be transported there in Neshoba County on scene there. Hear the rain there. That's pretty nasty there, which tells us that we need to be extremely careful. All right, let's see. Maybe I got that fixed. Let's take a look here and see. No, that did not fix that. Huh, but that's going to be okay. All right, let's go back to radar and see what we've got going on here. All right, storms are moving across. Let's go here and take a look at what we've got with our outages. And I wanted to go to here, to Lauderdale County. We got several going on here is what we see now. Let's back out here and close that. Lauderdale County, this is pretty huge here, what we've got going on. This area from Bailey up to Shucktown, we got about, that's going to be a little over, that's about 600 people in this area alone here. As you'll see here, from Center Hill to Shucktown, all the way through there without power. We get down here, we got around 20 people. If you look here, here's Hookston. Allen Swamp Road, right along in there. We've got about 17 people without power, one over in this side of the county, but that northern portion here in the West Lauderdale area. And again, that's what we were talking about, of that wind that came through. Most likely a tree has bumped something and it was moving into Kemper County as we look at that. Let's go back to our state and refresh this and get a good look of, and it's, there we go. As we look at Kemper, about 22 people. Neshoba County at about 330, still Leak 600, 1400 there, and Newton County at about 1200 is what we've got going on there. So, all right, let's go back to radar. We got this storm here that is cut across, moving toward the Alabama line. This is going to be in ML, Alabama, within about 23 minutes is what I see. Sledge in about a half an hour is what we're looking at. And that's where Sledge is as you get into the edge of Alabama there. There's ML. Right there. Here's Kimwace is going to be due south of there on 17 as it moves from the Baca Valley area there in Kemper County across. Now, again, this is all looking better as we see that this is letting up on this west side, and we're seeing just thunderstorm and heavy rains here. The heavy stuff is focusing right here in Damascus, due east across here. Now, Lauderdale County, let's turn this off where we can see Lauderdale County. We do have heavy rains now on the western side of Highway 19 back west to Newton County, about over to Hickory Picking as far as it goes there. We've got it in the north end of the county. Let's focus on what's going on here. And again, that storm right there at Freeman Tractor making its way across 19 as it will be at Mosley in 2 minutes. Pine Springs, it will be there within 9 minutes, and make it to Bailey within, well, let's see, in about 15 minutes. That's what we're looking at. Let's come on back out. This will eventually, all this showers here as it goes northeasterly, make it to NAS Meridian. It's on the outskirts there. We are seeing showers there start to move down Stennis Drive at this point as we look at that. Right there is Stennis Drive. We got Covington Fish Farms. It's raining pretty hard, and we also got pretty heavy rains there up to the Samdale Monument. The heaviest of rain that we've got in Lauderdale County right now is going to be right here on Highway 19, in between 19 and the lake at Oak Tibby. Let's get closer here and talk about some of these roads. Maybe you live on it. Right along here, Pleasant Ridge Baptist Church, West Bank Park, right along there. Oak Tibby Dam Road, it is pouring rain in there right now. And again, this storm is going to cross 19. There's more of it. This is the front edge of this storm carrying all that rain as it comes across the leading edge of that storm. And we'll cross Highway 495 here. King Road is about right there, and that storm's going to come across that area there and make it out by the North Lauderdale Water Association and head right toward the NAS Meridian as it cuts across here. And again, there's absolutely no warnings. The only thing that we have at this point is a tornado watch that is out until 9 p.m. tonight. We still have this special weather statement that is in effect for another 4 minutes, and it'll lighten up here in a few moments there, and you're going to be in the dark for a little while as they rush to get people out to get all of this stuff repaired. Most likely we've got a substation that has been damaged up here that's cut a line to the substation somewhere along there in that northern portion of the county that has everybody without power right along through here. So they're working on that to get all that back up and going before long. All right, let me check in. Let's see, Union and Greenfield Fire Departments have a 2-vehicle accident with injuries with entrapment at Highway 489 at Conahada Prospect Road. And again, let me put that back there, repeat that to you. Union and Greenfield fire departments. They are working a two-vehicle accident in the Conahatta Prospect Road on Highway 489. It does have injuries, and they do have someone who is trapped in the car. They're going to get those out here in just a few moments there. All right. They have. I just got an update. They have gotten the two people out of the car there on 489 in Conahatta, and they are being transported for injuries. That's good news. Nothing major, but will need to be checked out at a local hospital. That's good news. And with this rain, I want to remind you, if you can stay at home for a little while, please do, because we're going to have consistently have more wrecks like this. All right, there. Thunder in Pine Springs. As we go back up here, and Chet, you're right, we do need prayers for all that. Raining hard on Dogwood Lake Road, Cook Road in that area. Going back up and checking all that. Winston County, Deborah, looks good right now. This is. Let me pull this down where you can take a sneak peek. Here's Winston County. It's just heavy rain going on in that area. We do have rain in Kemper County, heavier with thunderstorms. Lauderdale County has thunderstorms, and we also have thunderstorms to our west there in Newton County, which are making their way into Lauderdale County. Is what I'm seeing there. All right, this storm, as it shifts across, let's click on that where we can see that. Right there, as we get our update there, this is going to be at Pine Springs in 1 minute, and we'll reach Bailey within 6 minutes, be in the Obadiah area in 10, and make it to Lazelia on this side of the county within 19 minutes. It is flooding outside, y'all. So that's where we are at this point. Again, as you'll see, this watch box has been taken off. The severe threat has faded away by 6:30. That went out about 1 minute ago. Let's see here. Yeah, those cameras are not wanting to cooperate right, and I have no answer as to why it done that. Just a little boo-boo there. Hang on here. I'm going to try to do something. And I did not get it. All right, as we continue this thunderstorm activity, no warnings. We are under a severe thunderstorm watch as we do this through 9 o'clock tonight.
Which camera?
It's that one, the main one. All of them are. I'm talking to Madison. She's trying to do some work for me here. But I'll throw this on, and it's still frozen, as you'll see. Don't know why. Can't explain it, but it does happen from time to time. Yeah, can't do that. We got to keep things rolling. So we won't have a camera for the time being. It will be okay. All right. Let's see here. Big Thunder Vicky is telling us no rotations whatsoever. It is just heavy rain at this point. So the threat of a thunderstorm right now has minimized. It's going to be heavy, and we remind y'all. Let's move into this and show you here. We got some stuff developing down here out of Raleigh, moving to the northeast, so we'll have some more showers moving into Newton County here in a little bit. But heavy rain here in northwestern Lauderdale County from Chunky all the way across the West Lauderdale area, and the worst of rain that we've got is right here just due south of Oktibbe, and then we got another right there at the county line as we look there on Highway 39 as you go right past going across where you go into NAS Meridian. technology will get you, and I can't tell you why that happened. You can own the best of the best, and it will just quit on you, and it did. So we'll get all that fixed before our next go around with weather. We want to say thank you for joining us, but that's what we've got at the present time. Again, no warnings. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch out until 9 p.m. Should the weather in any way turn back rough again to where the possibility of warnings are issued, we'll come back on. Let's do one more thing before we get out of here and look at all of this. Again, this is where our major power outages in our area right here. You've got a little over 603 right here in the Center Hill, Shucktown area up to the Kemper County line without power, starting in the Bailey area there on Highway 495 all the way up. 17 people right here. That's going to be off Allen Swamp Road down in here. King Road area there. Windsor Circle, some of you could be affected by this, but following King Road basically is what that's doing. Yeah, that's definitely King Road. About 17 people there. And then we got a couple of people, about 5 people out here in this area here north of 20, Lost Gap area in Lauderdale County. And now every county around us somewhere, some way has power outages at this point. As we update on all of that, a little bit right there, the chunky area there without power there. You got 300 people right there at Hickory, in between Hickory and Chunky, and they've got people working on that as well, as you'll see that line. That's the biggest that Mississippi Power has. We got some small outages out right here in Neshoba County around Union. Not many, but if you're that one, it doesn't matter, does it? You're the one without power. So we're working on that. And I wanted to look at here. And again, this one, let's refresh this as we look at the Philadelphia area there. And it's a lot of you without power there in the Walnut Grove back over toward Lake, those areas there. Union, Decatur, you're without power. And that's the way it is. Ann, how are you doing tonight? A bunch of it. Now, as we turn back to radar before we sign off, let me show you there. Again, it's just a heavy stream of storms moving to the northeast across there. Again, we'll be back to watch all of this weather. We can't thank y'all enough for joining us, and we'll be back should the threat, as you'll see here, it's a chance we will, as we see all of this back down in here, this could develop into something later on. We'll keep you updated with the very latest as weather develops in our area here at the Scotty Ray Report. Thank y'all. Be careful.